Most people only buy a few homes in their lifetime, but as realtors, we do a ton of transactions. We see homes every day, and we have seen good, we have seen bad, and we have seen downright ugly.
Today we're gonna play a game called Buy or Bust, in which we read a scenario from a home inspection and help you decipher if you should buy the house or run away.
Amber?
Yeah.
The first question, we have to decide if we are going to buy or bust. What if my inspection report says there's mold in the home?
So this is one that scares a lot of buyers because if you're coming from other areas of the country, mold may not be all that common. But here in Seattle, it is, unfortunately, in a lot of our homes. So it obviously depends on the extent of the mold, where it's located and whatnot, but just finding mold in general is not an automatic bust. There are ways to get rid of it, eradicate it, get rid of the cause of, why the mold is present, and then also ensure that it doesn't spread anywhere else inside your home. So still a buy with a caveat that you just have to do your research.
Yeah. Amber, why don't you pick the next question?
Okay, if asbestos is found in a house I want to buy, what should I do?
Well, the first thing you should do is check and see if it really is asbestos. Sometimes you think it's asbestos, but you don't really know until you get it tested by a professional. And then the next question you're gonna wanna ask is, how bad is it? Is it something that's actually gonna be a problem, or is it something that if we just leave it alone, it won't be dangerous? Because asbestos is really only dangerous when it's airborne, so if it's encapsulated in tile or in a popcorn ceiling in a way that won't get airborne, you might be okay. In general, I say it's a buy with the caveat that you definitely want to investigate, see how much there is, see what the cost would be to remove it, if it's worth it.
And for example, something like popcorn ceiling, which people correlate to likely having asbestos in it, may have a really small percentage of asbestos. We've seen that most of it comes back at around 5% of the actual product. So again, there's ways to get rid of it and make sure that it's not causing you or your family any harm.
Well, the popcorn ceilings are causing eye harm, I think, too, though. So there's that.
It's not aesthetically the best, but still a buy.
Okay. Amber, would you buy or bust if your inspection revealed the house has severe structural issues? First of all, what does this mean, and can it be fixed easily?
Oh, that is such a broad range. Considering the fact that this question has the word severe in it, I'm gonna say that it's gonna come down to how much money you wanna spend. You could spend anywhere from $10,000 on a minor foundation crack to not being able to truly salvage the house. So if it is the house that you're wanting to buy and not just the land, it's likely it could be a bust.
Yeah, severe structural issues, I'd throw it away. I'm interested in buying a brick house, but the weight of the walls is causing the foundation to bow. Can I buy this home now and fix it later?
I'm gonna say that's likely a bust if it is causing bowing.
When it bows, it snaps, it's bad, it cracks.
Yeah, once the structural integrity of the home has been compromised to a certain degree, you kind of just want to walk away from it.
Run away.
Run away, run away. All right, what if pests are found in a home during an inspection?
Again, as with everything, it depends how bad the problem is. In general, it's a buy because you can usually remediate these things for a reasonable cost. It's not necessarily gonna be super cheap, but you usually get an ongoing warranty too once you get pest control. So honestly, as long as there's not serious structural damage caused, I think it's a buy. Yeah.
Is a 30-year roof actually going to last for 30 years? Probably not. We live in Seattle. It is very wet, very rainy. Our weather is hard on roofs, so typically your average 30-year roof is gonna last more like 27 to 28 years if kept in proper condition.
25 or less if it's not.
Well, maybe even less than that. If you're pressure washing it or doing other things that could cause damage to it, it could last even less time than that. But a 30-year roof will get you close to 30 years, likely.
Yeah, old roof, still a buy, unless you don't have the money.
What does it mean if my inspection report says a home has rotten wood?
It's still usually a buy, but it depends. Is it structural? Is it throughout? Are you gonna have to replace the whole siding of the house, which would be very expensive? But yeah, keep your house painted, keep it dry, and usually that won't happen.
you need to either keep wood really well oiled or stained or covered in paint to preserve it. Otherwise, exposed to the elements like we have in Seattle with lots of rain, it will start to rot. And what happens is then the wood becomes soft and brittle and can actually attract wood-destroying organisms like termites, carpenter beetles, that sort of thing, that then can lead to larger structural issues within the home. So just finding rotten wood in an inspection isn't inherently a reason to bust on buying the house, but depending on the damage that it's caused, it should definitely be repaired. So I would say buy overall. All right, what if lead-based paint is found in a home that I want to buy?
Amber, if lead-based paint is found in a home that you want to buy, then you buy it.
Yeah, you just don't eat the paint.
Don't eat the paint, don't have your kids lick the paint, maybe repaint.
Yeah, there's ways to remove lead-based paint. You can scrape all the old paint, covering up any evidence of chipping paint. Paint is relatively cheap, and most people are likely gonna wanna put fresh paint on a home at some point anyways, especially when they're first buying it. So I would say buy. And the last one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Amber, the sewer scope report revealed a cracking pipe. Is this a big deal?
It could be. Sewer lines can get very costly very quickly, but it is not a bust. It just depends on how much money you're wanting to spend on it. The reality is that most homes in Seattle, or a large percentage of homes, were built about 100 years ago, and sewer lines last about that long. So we have a lot of lines showing some wear, showing their age currently. So it's gonna be a common issue that you're gonna keep coming upon. And even if you were to buy a new construction home, for example, there's no guarantee that they have a fully new line or that there's no issues with it. So you should absolutely always do a sewer scope, make sure that that you know what's happening down there.
But there are several ways you can repair a crack in a sewage pipe. I mean, you can either put in a liner, blow in a liner through it. You can dig up and replace the section of pipe. You can replace the entire pipe. There are options. It's expensive to dig, but if you love the house, it's a dream house, I say buy it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it really just depends on the amount of money you have to spend. So not a bust. I would say a buy. Hopefully this was helpful in providing you some information on how to navigate the Seattle housing market and your inspections. Any good inspector and real estate agent is going to help advise you on whether or not an item is too big, should be walked away from, if it's going to come up most likely in your continued search, or if it's fixable. So rely on the good people around you.
So if you need help buying, selling, or renovating your home, you can reach out to us, Get Happy at Home, and we can help you with that process.